Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to a brand new video on the channel. Inside of today's video, we're going to be taking a look at the most overrated and underrated gadgets inside of Brawl Stars right now, giving you guys some good tips on what gadgets you should be picking. So before we jump into the video, make sure you're using the creator code in the shop. That'd be greatly appreciated. And without further ado, let's jump into today's video. Alright guys, jumping into one of the most underrated gadgets inside of the game right now. We have Daryl's gadget, Tar Barrel. So this gadget's still pretty much underrated. You know, I tend to look at these type of gadgets when I do like the best build videos and whatever else, when people seem to still disagree with a lot of the builds. But Tar Barrel, basically every single pro player uses this gadget on Daryl, except for on Heist, where they'll use the other gadget because you can get some extra safe damage if you perfectly know the spot on it to get a lot of damage. But Tar Barrel is definitely the better gadget for Daryl. It just helps you really confirm those kills, get close to the enemies, and that's where you're going to be doing the most damage with Daryl. Again, it might not seem at first like a good gadget, but trust me, over time, as you get used to playing this gadget, it can come really clutch. Like sometimes when people try and get away from you, because of course you're not going to be doing as much damage if they're running away, it can really help close the gap and finish off the kills much quicker. It's obviously really good, well, it's also really good around walls as well. So for example, say the enemy is just literally behind this wall, you can get a good slow on them and allow you to get close and personal with them. So yeah, this gadget actually, I wouldn't really say it's like overpowered or broken, but in terms of like how people view this gadget, I think it's definitely an underrated gadget and still pretty like useful, as I said. So yeah, I mean, you can get some cool plays with the other gadget. Like the other gadgets is like more fun, but I just feel like you're gonna get a lot more value out of this one over time. So it's like this Rosa trying to make a breakaway. This should be pretty much an easy one right here. No super, well, there is a super for Primo, but it's too little too late. So that's going to be one underrated gadget. Let's hop into the next one. Alright guys, so jumping into another underrated gadget within Brawl Stars right now, we have Lou's gadget, Syro Syrup. So although like Lou is nowhere near the meta, one of the worst brawlers in the game right now, that's probably why this gadget probably doesn't get spoke about too much, but I really do enjoy using this gadget on Lou, and I feel like it's one of the main reasons as to like why Lou's even somewhat like usable in some game modes. I just love this gadget, especially when you just throw it onto an opponent. You can get half a freeze, and then it allows you to cycle your super really well. As I said, I think it's really underrated, and if Lou gets some okay buffs with the next update, I feel like this gadget can be incredibly strong, and people will finally start to realize like how strong it is again. Like you could just throw the super straight onto multiple people, you know, start that freeze, and it's going to allow you just to cycle so easily. So again, I'm going to put my gadget and just look at all these guys just freezing constantly. Like the only good thing about Lou, and you know, I kind of wasted all of my gadgets right there, but you can just see like you get them into like a stun lock, which can just be so frustrating for the enemies to deal with. It's like the only good thing about Lou being able just to continuously cycle and freeze these guys up. So getting close to another super here. These guys are just getting stunned over and over again. Don't think we're going to be able to stun this Primo. Unfortunately, we're on 10% battery. Absolutely hate to see it, but we're going to try and stun him here in our super. We are going to go down there, but he's going to be stunned long enough for our BB to hopefully, oh yeah, take him down there. But yeah, as I was saying, I just feel like people obviously underrate it just because of how bad Lou is in the meta, and it's not really like a game-breaking gadget. It's just one of those gadgets that can be appreciated by those Lou mains. So that's going to be another underrated one. Let's hop into the next one. Alright guys, so jumping into the final underrated gadget within the game right now, we have Brock with his Rocket Laces gadget. So although for the most part it's not going to be the better gadget like his other gadget, a lot of the time, probably like 95% of the time, is going to be better, hence why this one is really underrated. So the main reason why it's underrated is especially when we're talking about Power League. This way I'm trying to refer to it as much as possible, but with Power League, with this gadget, it can be really surprising for the enemies to face off against. You know, if you're facing against a couple of aggro brawlers, this gadget can really help you if you've picked a Brock. You know, if the enemy team has like a Gene, for example, you can dodge the enemy's pulls with Genes. So I've seen this being pulled off a few times, whether that be in like the qualifiers, whether it be, I think there was one instance in a monthly final where, you know, the other team used a Rocket Laces gadget like out of nowhere, and it really surprised everyone, and it did work out for the most part. So yeah, this gadget can be strong in certain circumstances. Of course, it will take like an extreme scenario for it to be like the better gadget, but I feel like it is underrated by myself including. So yeah, Rocket Laces is pretty fun, and it's kind of like a good comparison to the Eve gadget as well, right? Like, I get so much value out of the Eve gadget, and this is basically the Eve gadget. So yeah, I feel like I am underrating it, and probably a lot of people are sleeping on it as well. So got the crow here as well, and that's another example right there. We got a crow jump. Like, normally with Brock, you know, you're probably a bit suspect to brawlers that can just jump on you like a crow, but with this gadget, at least you can knock them back, deal a little bit of damage, and survive that little bit longer. So this looks like should be a okay. No, it's not going to be a goal for us. We're going to pretty much die. I don't want to just use my gadget right there. I want to kind of use it for a knockback, and also in Brawl as well, it can be pretty good because you can knock the ball out of the enemy's hand, and just any type of gadget or like super that has like a knockback ability is really, really useful, especially when it comes to Brawl. So we've got our super right here. Maybe we can make a flashy play. Let's try and jump ahead of the crow. Okay, no, we can't make a flashy play. And I also remember when this gadget first came out with Brock, I had so much fun, you know, making trick shots with this gadget in Brawl. So we've got 20 seconds left to try and make something happen here in OT. You know, we've got a Frank on both teams. At least we've got a Colette to deal with there. Frank, this crow is going to be pretty annoying, especially for me to try and hit because of how fast he is. Should be able to take him down there. At least I've got my gadget to get away just a little bit. We're going to use our super to try and kill the crow, but they're going to be able to finish that in. So that's going to be the most underrated gadgets. Let's hop into the most overrated. Alright guys, so jumping into the most overrated gadgets in the game right now. So of course, we're going to be starting off with my bane of existence in Power League whenever I'm playing on my mini account. It's going to be Recall Spring on Jessie. So this gadget is, you know, extremely overrated in terms of the lower end of a spectrum. It's okay in heist, like it's probably the only time it's good in, but I just still feel like in heist you can run the other gadget just because it helps confirm the kills. And again, it's just a little bit too cheesy for me. Don't feel like you get enough value out of the gadget, and yeah, it's just frustrating. I've got to say, it's got to be one of the most overrated things inside of a game right now. So Boss uses super right there and just flies the super across, you know, kind of waste my turret right there. But as I said, maybe there's a few circumstances where you're able to get a lot of value out of this gadget because, you know, you're left alone on a safe. But when we're talking about the better players, you know, I've said this time and time again, you know, good players will not allow a Jessie that is close to super or has super to really get onto the safe, because you kind of know that Jessie's going to do a lot of damage if left alone. So, you know, if someone has a brain cell, for the most part, you're going to be able to defend that super and the gadget itself. So I actually realized I got a Shocky Stop Power as well, just to obviously top off the most perfect combo in Brawl Stars. You guys absolutely love this combo. So got a minute left. Don't think we're going to be able to do too much, but again, when I'm talking about Jessie in competitive, I think she's actually pretty underrated, but that's with the complete other build, you know, with the Spark Plug gadget, with Energize, you know, she can be somewhat underrated, especially on maps which you can throw your turret behind the wall. You know, I'm thinking hot zone maps like Parallel Plays, like Dueling Beetles as well. Like, I've got some decent success with Jessie, but I won't have any success with this build right here. So again, I've got to throw our super up. I can't really actually stun anyone or confirm any kills, especially when it comes to Brawl with this gadget. So that's going to be one of the most overrated. Let's hop into the next one. Alright guys, so jumping into the next overrated gadget inside of Brawl Stars right now, we have extra credits. So I still feel like people tend to use this gadget a lot when it comes to heist, probably too much. I really don't like this gadget, especially when, you know, you maybe misclick the gadget, well, misaim the gadget just a little bit, and, you know, your complete shot is just, you know, wonky. It's not going to hit anything. It can be really frustrating, and it just takes such a long time for it to actually unload. You know, the only useful way that, well, the only good reason why you'd use this gadget is if, you know, there's literally no one even near you. You're just shooting on the safe with your super as well, and it can be somewhat okay. But I just feel like, you know, it's just basically, as long as you've got your 3 pieces of ammo with 8-bit, you're going to be able to do like the same kind of thing with the gadget. And the other gadget with the 8-bit is just so strong. It allows you to stay alive in a lot of instances. And I just feel like there should be like basically no reason why you should use this extra credits. You know, for some reason I find it quite satisfying to play, especially when you're using the other star power as well, and you're just beaming down the safe. Maybe just because you find it satisfying, it's good, but again, just don't really find it useful in comparison to the other ones. So I'm gonna pop our super down there. So at least I got some good value out of it there, because this do continue to run in. But for a lot of times, you can just wait for 8-bit just to finish off his shot, because of course, as you know, it's a lot of bullets, and yeah, it's quite easy to dodge. You know, and with 8-bit, you want to kind of, you lean your shots and like in quick succession try and get a couple of shots in a row, because it's not always the easiest to hit shots with 8-bits. So like just his normal pieces of ammo are just good enough for me. The gadget probably a bit too much, but I'm just waffling on here. Of course some people will fight a case with this 8-bit gadget, but I just don't feel like it's nowhere near as good as the other one. So that's going to be another overrated one. Let's hop into the last one. Alright guys, so jumping into the final most overrated gadget in Brawl Stars right now, it is going to be Ash with his rotten banana gadget. So with this gadget, I just don't feel like you get enough rage with how much health you get. But of course I don't really mind it, because when this gadget first came out, it was extremely broken. Like it was easily the best gadget in the game, so I'm really happy it did get the nerf it did. But for me, I just don't really see any viability with it, unless you've got like a Poco with a gadget that can just heal you up straight away, or like a Byron just pocket healing you straight away, constantly. Other than that, this gadget just not really that great whatsoever. Really prefer the other gadget because it can help get some extra health back in some clutch situations. And yeah, just feel like people still probably feel that this gadget is really strong, and I don't really think it's strong whatsoever. So I'm gonna pop our gadget here to get to full rage. Maybe it's able to help us in this instance. Okay, we're able to get the kill on the BB. Gonna just throw the pets onto the Lola there, but unfortunately my teammate's not able to keep the ball in our possession, and Griff is able to score there. So our teammates shooting at each other there, surprise surprise. But we should be able to get our rage up enough with the first star power. So again, I just feel like there's other better ways to get your rage up other than taking 40% out of your health. Like that is a lot of HP to be taken away for sure, and I'll just rather use my super or the first bash star power to get my rage up, in comparison to that gadget which just takes up so much HP, while this BB bubble really causing us some problems here, and it's looking like a GG. I don't think I'm able to come back from this unless my pets can do enough damage. A bit of a rip right there, but as I was saying, just think this gadget is really overrated. So that's going to be the most underrated and overrated gadgets. So let me know down in the comment section below what you think are the most underrated and overrated in your opinion. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.